former Army Vice Chief of Staff, now Chairman of the Institute for the Study of War. General, always good to have you with us. I want to start, obviously the biggest concern here is that there is an escalation that leads to a wider, larger war in the region. Here's the White House response to the reaction to this Beirut, south of Beirut attack. And here's what they said about it. Watch.
We do not believe that an all-out war is inevitable. That is not something that we believe, and we believe that it can still be avoided. There's a diplomatic solution here, and that's what we're trying to get to.
General Keane, your thoughts on what's going on here?
Yeah, well, some of that's a stunning revelation, because that's what this administration has been about right from the outset when they began 3 years ago and eased back on the Trump sanctions and told the Iranians they did that as a concession so they can make diplomatic foray and return to the nuclear deal. This appeasement strategy has failed miserably as a strategic strategy, and here we are still playing it out in the middle of a war, and our closest ally in the region is fighting for its very existence. And I believe administration officials every single day should remind the American people and the world writ large that this is an existential threat to Israel, to exterminate them as a body where the people no longer want to live in Israel because the situation is so volatile. And here we have this situation. I give a lot of credit here, Martha, to the Israeli leadership in target selection. Normally something like this, overwhelming, devastating military attack, multiple targets, et cetera, collateral damage, to be sure, associated with something like that. But they clearly didn't want to spike the ball here and force Hezbollah into a major retaliation. So they selected a high-value target associated with the attack that just took place, killing all the children. One, they had the intelligence to do that. And two, I think it's measured in that sense because it has risk associated. If you're trying to target one person, then the likelihood that you could miss that person is real, as opposed to taking down installations, barracks, and the other things which are fixed and you know who's there. So I credit them for this target selection because I think they had retaliation of Hezbollah in mind in doing this. It remains to be seen now what Nasrallah's reaction will be to this, and also, is it really true that they missed a target? Look, Hezbollah lies about this stuff, and I think there's going to have to be some verification before the final decree is made that this high-value target was not killed.
Yeah. I want to go back to your point about making it clear that this is a moment where Iran, through its proxies, Hezbollah, and we've just heard from the Houthis and Hamas that they think that this was a heinous strike, right? So all of these voices speaking essentially on behalf of Iran. Does Iran look at this moment where we have a lame duck president, I think is very I think it's a real characterization of what's going on at the White House, and the vice president who is out campaigning. Does Iran see this as a window to wipe Israel off the map or to make a lot of strides toward that goal, General?
Yeah, well, I think what Iran has been doing is quite steady for the past 3+ years. I mean, they're flush with money because China is financing them, and there's no secondary sanctions being applied to that. So they've been able to really operationalize and give the major equipment and major training to all of their proxies. This is not isolated that Russia went into Ukraine and did that very soon after the administration took power. I mean, they put 70,000 on the border in March, 60 days into the administration, and later, a year later, went into Ukraine after Afghanistan. It's not isolated that Iran stepped up their aggression with this administration, and it's been steady marching towards that goal of doing two things: drive the United States out of the region militarily and diplomatically as much as possible, and destroy the state of Israel. Remember, before October the 7th, there were over 125 attacks by Iranian-backed Shia militia in Iraq and Syria. Over 125. That was before October the 7th. This aggression has been there for a long time, and the United States has failed to pin the rose on Iran. We now have the commander of Central Command for our audience. He commands all of our forces in the region. He has repeatedly asked for permission to shut down the Houthis by attacking Iran's capability to resupply them and take down their spy ship that's targeting for them in the Red Sea. And it keeps getting rejected. And as a result of that, the Suez Canal is essentially shut down. Is that a check mark for the Iranians in terms of this is something they strategically wanted to accomplish in terms of their influence and control of the region? You betcha. And what are we doing? We're in a defensive crouch as opposed to an offensive crouch and stopping them from doing it. So this is just another step, I think, to answer your question. Iran has been on the march, and they're going to continue to be on the march. Whether they see a vulnerability here and an all-out attack, I don't see something like that. But the reality is their proxies are continuing to increase their capability and put pressure. And now we have Shia militias attacking the United States once again. Whether that continues remains to be seen. But Iran is the architect here, and we keep our hands off of it. We won't even go after them rhetorically, much less militarily, which most of us observers believe should be done.
Yeah. Well, they've been making a lot of headway in the past 3 years and taking advantage of a situation where really the White House almost never talks about Iran. It's as if this threat doesn't exist in terms of the priorities of this White House. And you've laid it out extraordinarily well, as always, General. Thank you very much for being here. Next time we need to talk more about this report that came out, because it shows that we are at a very weak stage of military readiness and that most Americans do not understand the threats that we face. So I hope we can talk about that more in our next visit. Thank you so much for being here, General.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.